Hello my sweet beauties, welcome back to my channel and to another mukbang video. Today we're eating fried chicken and yogurt. As simple as it gets. I'm super hungry. I hope you're all doing very well. I'm pretty fine. Today is the last day that is supposed to be that hot. Tomorrow the temperature will fall to 33 degrees Celsius, which is really good. And will stay this way almost a whole week. And after that, it will go back to extreme. But we're going to enjoy this week. I still have some questions that you have sent me. I'm so grateful, still grateful you're still sending me questions. And I will answer them all. Okay, so if you could have a meal with any well-known or historical figure, alive or from the past, like a scientist, artist, celebrity, etc., who would it be and what would you eat? Okay, that's very complicated. I guess I would choose someone that is not alive. And he will probably be Michael Jackson, probably, or Frida Kahlo, for completely different reasons. I would love to eat with Michael Jackson and talk with him because I always wanted to know the truth about him, and because everything that they say about him and all the accusations, I never liked that for him. I never really believed it, although I can't have that kind of knowledge, obviously, but even without that fact, he was a phenomenon in so many different parts. I would like to meet him. And Frida Kahlo, for obvious reasons. She was a fantastic persona, very interesting. Her work, her life, her personality, everything. I believe it would be extremely interesting to meet her and eat with her. About food. It depends. I guess if I was the one who would organize this kind of meeting, I would make something Greek. Maybe a moussaka. I don't know. Which is quite funny if you think about it. Anyway, how many calories do you consume a day to keep your weight the way it is? I don't count anymore. But to be absolutely honest with you, I'm so used to, there was such a big part of my life that I was counting calories that I now do it without even thinking about it, you know? So, more or less, I believe it's 2000 kilocalories a day. Other days more, other days less, but for me that's the ideal amount of calories for my weight, the weight I have now, because if it was about my previous weight, it would be a lot less. Actually, I think I'll eat it with my hands. Yeah. So, the yogurt you eat, is it similar to what we in the US call plain, or maybe more like sour cream? The bad news is that I haven't tried plain yogurt from US or sour cream, so I cannot tell you exactly if it's like that. But I can tell you what this is. First of all, we don't call it Greek yogurt, obviously. We call it stragisto, which means strained. And that means that it's yogurt that has been in a procedure, an additional procedure, where the extra water is removed and it's pure milk and fat. So it's for sure it's heavy. I believe if your plain yogurt is like our plain yogurt, because we also have plain yogurt and it's also much more cheap. It's much cheaper than the strained yogurt. If that's the case, it's different. Like, there's a reason why it's so much cheaper than the strained yogurt. It is rich in flavor. The texture is really creamy. And you can use it in many recipes and it can stay this way, and generally it's a great ingredient for many things. Yeah. If we're talking about the same plain yogurt, no, it's not the same at all. So, do you have favorite clothes store and how often do you go to shopping? I don't. To be honest, I was never a huge fan of shopping. Most of my clothes are presents from friends and family. I almost never go shopping. I have ordered sometimes online, but it wasn't a one-time thing, you know. It was not something that I do occasionally. Do you smoke or drink, or have you in the past? What's your overall opinion on vices, which means bad habits, because I googled it, moral flaws or wicked behaviors? I don't drink. I mean, if I'm outside with friends and it's summer and whatever, I might drink a beer with my food, or it doesn't happen often, like once a year. So I guess I don't drink. But I do smoke. My opinion about it is that if you can avoid starting it, avoid starting it. Because I consider myself a very strong person But when it comes to this bad habit, I've tried to stop so many times, and it's really difficult because it has become a part of my personality, if you know what I mean. A part of my everyday life. It's a habit that is like an extension of myself, which is the most awful thing that can happen when it comes to smoking. So my advice is, at all costs, never start it. When I started it, I did it because a boyfriend I had back in time was smoking, and he was always out of cigarettes, and I started buying to have in my house, and I just started to, be matchy with him. In my defense, I was really young, like almost a teenager. I was 20 actually. And I honestly thought that I would quit any time I wanted. I was extremely confident about that. I was wrong. I have managed to quit. The biggest period of time was 6 months. And I was feeling awful. It's an addiction. Full stop. It's an addiction. If you're talking about vices, I'm not talking about wicked behaviors, obviously, or moral flaws. I mean, when it comes to anything that has to do with our people, obviously I'm against. If you want to harm anybody else, I'm against it. But yeah, if you're doing something for yourself, I mean, not extremely harmful, I feel I don't have the right to tell anybody what to do with themselves. So I can give you my advice, I can tell you what happened to me, but it's your choice. I won't judge anybody about this kind of stuff. I think I put a lot of yogurt here. A lot. Have you ever considered to leave Greece in the future, or you're staying there forever? Well, I'm 42. So I believe it's extremely difficult now to decide something like that. If I didn't have Wikitsa though, I'm saying it because I've thought about it. If I didn't have Wikitsa, I would love to work on a ship. As anything. And just travel and work. Probably abroad too, but my base would always be Greece. Not the place I live here, my birthplace. Yeah. What kind of music do you like listening to, and what movies are you into? Send you lots of love from Germany. I send love back to Germany. I hear it's difficult to describe because it's a Greek kind of music, which is called endechno. It's also an old term. I don't even know if they still call it that, but it's something between rock music and folk music combined. A romantic kind of music, rebellious, with many traditional elements. I also listen to specific groups. Anyway, I'm talking about non-Greek music, like System of a Down. I like Queen very, very much. I used to, when I was a teenager, to hear Backstreet Boys and Spice Girls and Aqua. Do you remember the Aqua? Britney Spears, obviously. Christina Aguilera. Ricky Martin. I got so emotional when I saw it at the Super Bowl. She looks gorgeous still, like, damn, gorgeous. What else? Stuff like that. A little bit of Metallica, AC/DC, Marilyn Manson. But yeah, mostly the kind of Greek music I described to you. When it comes to movies, more or less everything, but from time to time I have different preferences, like I like I'm trying to find the word. Anyway, stories that have to do with the legal system and stories about, true stories or based on true events. I also like thrillers. I don't know how you call them. It's definitely not scary movie. And yeah, I also like romantic ones, obviously. Inside this thing there is still a girl that is still romantic, although I hide it. Anyway, yeah, like The Notebook, P.S. I Love You. I also I like a lot movies like The Green Mile that mixes real events with a little bit of, imagination or faith or miracles, stuff like that. And I also like whatever has any Keanu Reeves in it, like The Matrix, Constantine, John Wick. I just love him. I cannot help it. Excuse me, it's my weakness. Yeah. But more or less, if it's a nice movie, I'll watch it. Do you know what movie I do not like? And most people like it. The Lord of the Rings. I never saw the beauty in these movies. I love Harry Potter. I love it. I can watch Harry Potter binge watching for days. I don't care. But Lord of the Rings, I've watched all the movies. I don't like it at all. I find it boring. Believe it or not. Yeah. More or less. That's that. I think I'll stop now because I've eaten all my food. Oops. Tell me at the comment section your favorite kind of music and movie. Because I always talk about myself and it's boring. Okay. So much yogurt was unnecessary. But it's never a problem because it's 10% fat and Bukita will eat that. Yes, yes. Woo! So that was all. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. And like every time I spit beauty, I'll see you in my next video. Love you to the moon and back. Bye.